I was the one who dragged him to the vet. I was the one who filled his bowl every single day. I was the one who trimmed his claws and brushed his fur. I had been working overtime for weeks just to afford a new scratching post for him. I knew he was just a cat, but wasn't he my cat? My begging finally got a reaction. Bagel looked up at me, but there was no affection in those eyes, only disgust. It was terrifying. I was seeing human disgust in the eyes of an animal. Then he stood up, hissed. A low, guttural growl vibrated in his throat. His fur puffed out, making him look twice his size. He bared sharp, white fangs at me. His tail slammed against the sofa cushion in a rhythmic, angry beat. But I noticed something. He was positioning himself. He was standing between me and Cassidy, blocking me, protecting her. Then the voice invaded my brain again. Can she just back off? She's so annoying, ugly, stinks. It's disgusting that she keeps trying to touch me. And she didn't listen to me. She didn't bring the latte for Cassidy. I love Cassidy. Meow. She smells like sugar and flowers. She gave me 7 treat tubes today. Meow. The tone was Kyle. The sound was Bagel. It felt like a physical blow to the head. My fingers went numb, a pins and needles sensation shooting up my arm. I stood there, paralyzed. Bagel was a stray that Kyle, my boyfriend, had found. Back then, Bagel was only a month old. A mess of matted fur, infected eyes, and a raspy, dying meow. His belly was swollen with fluid. He was hunched over in a painful meatloaf position. He was pathetic, and I fell in love with him instantly. So when Kyle told me to keep him, I said yes without hesitation. I was an intern back then, fresh out of college, making minimum wage, 0 savings. Bagel's first vet visit cost half my monthly rent. The medicine and prescription food were a financial death sentence. But I was drowning in joy. I had a cat, a little life that needed me, someone to wait for me. I borrowed money from every friend I had. I maxed out 2 credit cards. I worked overtime for a solid month just to pay off the debt. I remembered leaving the vet hospital at 3 a.m. The late autumn wind was cutting through my clothes. I wrapped Bagel inside my jacket, pressing him against my chest to share my body heat. I couldn't afford a carrier. The cheapest one was $50. That was my food budget for a week. So I carried him. Walking under the streetlights, it felt like a scene from a movie. Just the 2 of us against the world. When I pushed open the door to my tiny, cramped but cozy apartment, I bent down and kissed his little forehead. We're home, I whispered. We were home. It was supposed to be our sanctuary. But Bagel never warmed up to me. If I reached for him, he flinched. He refused to be in the same room as me. The only time he tolerated my existence was when I held a treat. The second the food was gone, he was gone. I was hurt. Of course I was. But I rationalized it. He's my cat. He's just naturally shy. He has trauma from the streets. It's okay. Friends told me to stop feeding him for a day. Starve him, they said. Make him realize who the master is. I refused. I couldn't do it. I just wanted my cat to be happy. You have to accept that some cats just aren't affectionate. That's what I told myself for 3 years, until Cassidy moved in. That's when the truth hit me like a truck. My cat isn't antisocial. He just hates me. Chapter 3. Cassidy was a student in Kyle's program. A few years behind him. She was in the city to prep for her grad school entrance exams and needed a temporary crash pad. I am an introvert. The idea of sharing my sanctuary with a stranger made my skin crawl. But Kyle begged. He gave me the puppy dog eyes. So, like an idiot, I agreed. Since the day Cassidy dragged her suitcases through the door, Bagel had been obsessed with her. Cassidy never scooped the litter box. She never filled the water fountain. She never spent a dime on vet bills. All she did was wave a feather, wand around once in a while. Yet, Bagel followed her like a shadow. One call of his name, and he came running. He would flop over, exposing his fluffy, white belly for rubs. At night, he slept curled up against her spine. He never did that for me. 3 years. I raised him for 3 years, and he never showed me a fraction of that affection. I used to tell myself it was just his personality. Bagel is cold. Bagel is aloof. That's just who he is. It's fair. But it wasn't fair. Cassidy did absolutely nothing, and she won. I poured my soul into this animal, and I lost. I couldn't force myself to like her. Actually, I hated her. I was jealous. Because both the males in my life, my boyfriend and my cat, handed her their unconditional love on a silver platter. I remembered the day I agreed to let her move in. Mara, I'm so happy. Now Cassidy can focus on her exams without worrying. You really are the kindest girl in the world. Kyle's face had been glowing. His eyes, sharp claws, sliced across the back of my hand. I watched red beads of blood splatter onto the floor. I had been a slave to this cat for 3 years. The reward? A hand dripping with blood. Bagel looked at me. His eyes were filled with pure, unadulterated loathing. Then the door opened. My roommate walked in. The change was instant. Bagel dove into her arms, nuzzling his face deep into her chest. And then I heard it. A man's voice, echoing deep inside my skull. God, I hate her. Look at her. Ugly. Smelling like desperate sweat. What gives her the right to touch me? I froze. My entire body went rigid. Cassidy is so much better. Soft. Smells amazing. She gave me 7 treats today. I might be stuck in this cat body, but I'm staying faithful to Cassidy. My blood turned to ice. Cassidy is my roommate, but that voice, there was no mistaking it. That was Kyle, my boyfriend. Midnight. I was finally done with overtime. The rain had soaked through to my scalp, leaving a dull, throbbing headache behind my eyes. I pushed the apartment door open. Disaster. Total war zone. My slippers were shredded. My water cup was overturned, a puddle spreading across the floorboards. Important papers had been chewed into confetti. It was spring. Bagel was hormonal. I knew that. But then I looked to the left. Cassidy's side of the room. Pristine. Untouched. Her delicate little trinkets sat perfectly on her shelves, like they were protected by an invisible force field. Unbelievable. The culprit was currently curled up on Cassidy's lap, eyes squinted shut in bliss. He looked like he was living his best life. I walked toward the living room, clutching a cup of lukewarm latte. Mara, you're back. You didn't get caught in the rain, did you? Cassidy looked up. Her eyes landed on the cup in my hand. Oh, a latte. Did Kyle ask you to bring that for me? I told him I was scared of the rain and didn't want to go out. I can't believe he took it to heart. Thanks for the trouble, Mara. She tilted her chin up slightly. Her tone was dripping with that sugary, girlish charm. I bought this for myself, I said. My voice was flat. Her smile faltered for a fraction of a second. Then the mask was back in place. Sweet, innocent. Mara, I have to vent. Bagel has been so annoying today. He's literally obsessed with me. She laughed. Her hand patted the cat's head. Bagel purred, a loud, rumbling sound of pure contentment vibrating under her palm. That's good. I forced the corners of my mouth up, a polite, plastic smile. I knew she was showing off, and there wasn't a single thing I could do about it. Bagel never acted like that with me. In 3 years, he had never curled up on my knees, never followed me around, never exposed his belly to me. All I ever got was avoidance, distance, rejection, and I was the one who raised him. Cassidy had been living here for a month. Logically, I knew I shouldn't be jealous over a pet, but my bones ached with exhaustion. And the version of Bagel she was bragging about, the affectionate, loving cat, sounded so nice. I just wanted Bagel to hold me for once. Bagel. I walked up to him. I called his name. The cat didn't even twitch.